fans out there, let's talk about Justice League America Rebirth. This was written by Steve Orlando and illustrated by Ivan Reis. According to Tim Drake in Detective Comics issue 950, Batman is getting ready for war, but as to who he's going to war with, that's the question. In almost a throwaway line that happened between Red Robin and Batman, Tim confronted Batman asking why he was trying to get his eyes into all of these different fields. This included Jason, Damian, and Dick. And what seemed like a joke, Tim asked whether or not he was going to start up his own Justice League, which happens with this series. Recently, there have been a couple Justice League America prequels to this book, including the Ray one-shot and Killer Frost one-shot. In this book, Batman recruits Killer Frost first, and then she goes on to recruit Black Canary, and then Black Canary goes on to recruit Lobo, and I mean the real Lobo, the Lobo that everyone likes, not that emo skinny guy that was introduced a while back in the New 52. That Lobo has been shrunken and is trapped in a bottle, and I think is in Larfleeze's possession, which hopefully he stays there because I don't like him, and I don't think a lot of people out there didn't like him either. So being Rebirth, let's pretend that Lobo never happened and that this is the real Lobo, and we're just gonna stick with it. Anyways though, then Lobo helps Batman to recruit the Atom. Unfortunately though, Ray Palmer is still missing. In his place, Ryan Choi is recruited instead, which happens to have all of the Atom's gear and technology. By the way, there are a lot of theories online that the Atom is going to be playing a huge part in the overall Rebirth storyline in the future. Then the Ray is recruited by Ryan. And then the final member of this team is Vixen, which Batman goes to recruit himself. This first issue is really just a gathering of forces, all under Batman's leadership. They're not exactly cohesive at this point. Lobo, for instance, he's a total tool like he usually is, and they're not exactly on the same page as him. It's funny, there's a point where Batman tells Lobo to sit down. This is a throwaway to the old DC universe when Batman was in charge of the Justice League and said the exact same thing to Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner fell in line. Lobo, not so much. I like this a lot, and I am so curious as to why Batman decided to form this team. It's obvious that he knows something that the reader doesn't know yet. We get a taste for things to come in future storylines, and there's some really great possibilities. There is a lot of potential with this, and I think that Steve Orlando nailed it. There's going to be a storyline where Batman and the Flash cross over, and they start to investigate the Button, which happens to be the Button from the Watchmen. This was shown in the first Rebirth one-shot. They're finally going to start to go into this to find out where this came from and what's going on in the overall scheme of everything. This could play into why Batman is forming his own Justice League and what's really going on that he's not letting everyone else know yet. But no one really knows at this point except for DC themselves. It feels as though they really did plan out the entire Rebirth, which is nice. There have been many events that they've done where they haven't really thought everything out. This time it feels like the exact opposite, and I'm hoping they stick to this. Okay, no more speculation on my part. This is a great first issue. This is a great issue for people to get on board, to start reading a new Justice League of America title. It's also a great story to read if you're interested to find out the overall scheme of everything that may be happening in the DC universe. If you're interested in getting this book, it's available at dccomics.com, or you can go to comicsology.com. And with that, I'll leave you. Thank you guys for watching me in this video. Hopefully I'll join you in another video very soon. Peace, love, namaste. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Tim Drake was taken by Mr. Oz because Mr. Oz said that Tim was reconnecting threads that cannot be reconnected. This made me wonder whether or not Tim was reconnecting threads with Batman, where Batman is getting eyes in all of these different fields. Maybe Tim Drake was taken purposely and this was part of Batman's plan. At least that's what I'm hoping. I mean, Batman hasn't investigated Tim Drake's death, and Batman is the world's greatest detective. You would think that he would have some idea that Tim is still alive, or at least that's what I'm hoping.